welcome to Improv Separately Together. I'm your host, Philip Whiting, and today, from Sarasota, Florida, welcome Will!
Hey, thank you so much for having me on.
No, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. This is Will from Sarasota. Why don't you go ahead and let the audience know more about yourself?
Sure. Again, my name is Will Luera. I am from Sarasota, Florida, where I'm the director of Improv at Florida Studio Theater. I've been here now for almost 6 years. In addition, I'm the director of an international touring group called Big Bang, and I'm also still somewhat connected to the Boston improv scene, where I was artistic director of Improv Boston for almost 14 years.
You'll recall that name from Mike Carr's episode a while back. Like I'm telling everybody, I'm just connecting with improvisers and non-improvisers to see how they're doing during this time in our craziness of the world. Another non-improviser coming next week, promise. He's a comedian, but he's not an improviser. So we'll just interview you as you, and then I hear you brought your friend with you. We'll talk to them, and then we'll call it a day.
All right.
All right, so how this goes, to begin with, during this craziness of the coronavirus, what's changed in your normal day-to-day process?
Obviously, just like everyone else, I'm now at home. I'm definitely like a creature of like schedules and agendas. Like I need that in my life. And so I'll be honest, the first couple of days that I was at home, there was a lot of lying down in bed. I'm like, what am I doing? What do I need to do? And I think just like yourself, it's like you need to maintain creatively active in some way. That lasted a couple of days, and then I was able to sort of latch on to just a couple of creative endeavors. Then eventually my kids got back into the school year, kicked back in after spring break, and that kind of helped me sort of get into a schedule for them, for homeschooling. And now we're in a pretty, as regular or as normal as it could be, a pretty regular schedule. The day at home starts a little later than it used to. I used to wake up at like 6 in the morning to get my day started. Now it starts at 8 in the morning, but still same thing. I'll get a workout in. I'll help my kids with homeschool. I'll start working on creative work and office work, and before I know it, the day's over. So somewhat normal. Doing the best that I can, but I'm definitely the kind of personality, the kind of person that needs to stay active.
Right. I noticed that like last week when I'm doing an interview type day, my day seems to disappear like that. But like the other day, we're just watching TV, hanging out, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, this day won't end.
Yeah. So I do think that it's something about that, like for us creative types, like to just have your mind, engaged in something, even if you're not actively working on it. Like the fact, I might be outside raking leaves, but my mind is still thinking about improv thing I have to do that night, right? And so it's good. It's good to have that to look forward to as a as a creative type.
Right, and I've been thinking in my head, how can I like maybe go live on Facebook once a week as this show, or maybe even as my normal group, but do like one-on-one scenes, and how will they turn out? Because it's so much different than being in person, and hopefully we work that out and that happens here soon. All right, so back to the questions. We are home a lot more because basically almost everything's closed. What do you like about it?
So I think like many of us, there's been like a to-do list, just things that you've been wanting to get done at home. The example I used earlier was of raking leaves. That has been one of those projects. We have a big backyard with 2 live oaks, and here in Florida, like every late winter, early spring, those live oaks just shed tons of leaves. That's been happening for the last 5 years, and I have not raked any of those leaves in 5 years. And so now I'm like, I've got this free time. I've been raking a lot of leaves, and I could see the bottom of my yard again. I could see the dirt underneath all of that. So that's been something, right? But also like I've got like all these like many improv folks, we've been teaching, and we teach classes throughout, and every time I teach, I walk away with notes of how to improve that class a bit more. And part of my creative work has been working through those pile of notes as I slowly work and update my curriculums.
Right, right. Okay, so on the same note, you're home all the time. What do you dislike about it?
Oh wow, yeah. Well, I'll say that the first couple of days, and I have two daughters. My wife, I live with my wife, my two daughters, and not we don't have a very big house. We have one, two, three, four, five. I mean, six distinct rooms, maybe seven if you count the laundry room. Six and a half rooms, four people. We were all over each other the first couple of days, and now I think we've kind of we've kind of called our spots.
Right.
My wife turned the family room into her office. I've turned our bedroom into my office. One kid kind of hangs out in the kitchen all the time, and the other kid hangs out in their room.
Ah.
And so I think that so we've all that first week of just like being all on top of one another, we've kind of now sorted out and we found our land, and we've settled in. I'll be honest that I haven't gotten into too many bad eating habits. So I've been very lucky with that. There's a lot of temptation around. I posted on Facebook a couple weeks ago that this is one thing I've not been good about. They sell these mango key lime pies at Publix.
Uh-huh.
Oh, those things are. I'll tell you what. When we're putting together our weekly shopping list, that's literally the first thing I ask. I'm like, are we out of mango key lime pie? If the answer is yes, then we must go to Publix immediately.
But you can buy a half a pie of that, can't you?
Yeah, but then that's just going to last a day, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good. They're so good. Anyway.
Okay, I guess I'll have to actually go try it now since I got the recommendation. Okay, so what's that thing that you're missing more than anything right now?
The human connection, definitely. I miss hanging out with my group. I miss seeing them. We've gotten into the habit now of we've picked up our weekly rehearsals again, and put in quotes rehearsals. We've picked that up again we used to rehearse every Saturday, early evening. We missed a couple of weeks at the beginning of this. I think as everybody, it's kind of like a trauma that we all went through. But then we started to schedule them back in, and right now it's barely even a rehearsal. It's mostly just a check-in.
Right.
We just we check in and see how everyone is doing. Everyone gives us an update. But now we've done that for 3 weeks, and we're all craving and needing and wanting that human connection. After 3 weeks, I think we're ready for this next rehearsal to actually be something resembling a rehearsal as best as we can.
Yeah, we're with my alchemy team. We're slowly figuring it out.
Right.
It's like we're a long form team, but like we practiced with some short form because we could mute and only have the two people go back and forth or whatever.
Sure.
It worked okay. The only thing I hate about it is that I blink and it's over. It's not as long as they normally are. So yeah, it's taken a little bit to get used to, and I'm not a huge fan. I want to be in the same room.
Yeah.
Okay, Imagine Florida and South Carolina aren't going to start opening stuff like they are stupidly doing. Okay, all restrictions get lifted. You are allowed to do whatever we want. And what's that first thing you want to go do?
Oh man, and the easy answer is like to put on a show or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think living here in Florida, living here in Sarasota specifically, we all, me, my family, and I, we kind of just want to take a walk on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
The beach for us is a 7-8 minute drive, and it's one of those things that we would go sometimes months without going to the beach. And now there's nothing, like I crave just like, oh, it'd be great to just sort of walk on the sand and let the water sort of lap over your feet.
Right.
That's one thing. Like, and I know Florida's talking about lifting those restrictions, but even then, I don't see us going back anytime soon. I don't see Sarasota. The state might lift them, but I don't see our county lifting them.
Right.
That's one thing. I also, and this has nothing to do with actually drinking alcohol or anything, but just going to a bar and hanging out with friends.
Right.
Watching a sports game on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
in the background and commenting on it. Miss that.
What's a sports game?
Yeah, I know, right? That's good. It's going to be weird.
It's definitely weird.
It was the lockdown happened right in the middle of our spring training here, which is our the only. We don't have any. I mean, the Tampa Bay Rays are now away, but other than that, I mean, it's so nice to have all these baseball teams near us, and it's a big deal for us for that whole month. Almost every weekend, we're going to see a different team,
right?
And so, we right before the lockdown started, we went to go see our local Baltimore Orioles. And so I missed that as well. I'll add that to the list.
Hey, you can have whatever you want on that list. I find it strange, like you brought up the beach, and I grew up in Clearwater, so I was surrounded by beach all the time. I didn't care if I went to the beach or not when I lived there, but now that I'm older and all that, I'm like, I want to go to the beach.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so we've come to the portion of the show where we get to see your friend. You want to go get them. I'll do a quick little introduction, and we'll introduce them.
Yeah, sure. I can bring anyone I want.
Hey, it's your friend, whoever you want.
All right, I'll see who I can get.
All right, cool. Now I wonder what he's going to go do, because I said whatever he wanted to do. But you know what? Whoever shows up, shows up. So, let's welcome to the show, friend of Will. Here we go! He's not ready yet. He's not ready yet. He's almost ready.
Here we go.
I feel like there might be a costume change going on. It's fine. It's fine.
No costume change. No costume change.
No
Here we go. Check this out.
Oh! Why, hello there.
This is our dog Woody.
Hi, Woody.
Hey, look at Woody. He is right now in total shock because we never let him into our room.
Lucky pup.
Yeah. So our other dog, Buzz. So this is Woody. Buzz is out there. Buzz is not happy right now. I'm hearing a barking because he's like, why does Woody get to go in and not me? So this is Woody.
Okay.
He's a rescue dog. We rescued him about 5 years ago. Part Chihuahua, part Pug, and yes, I don't know if you could hear the other dog.
We definitely hear. Both of mine are rescues. We just got one last week, and she's a terrier mix. We think she's like a Irish Terrier boxer mix, but my boy is a Chiweenie, so he's half Dachshund, half Chihuahua.
Wow.
Yeah.
This guy is half Chihuahua. They fake half Chihuahua, half Pug.
Yeah, I can see it.
So,
I can see it right in the eyes.
The other guy is Jack Russell Terrier and Italian Greyhound.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's an odd mix too.
Yeah. So this is. I had. When you mentioned bringing a friend out, I had a bunch of ideas, and then at the last moment, I thought of bringing one of my pups in. So.
So we're going pup instead of character. That works for me.
Pup instead of character. I had some characters in mind, but I could hear the pups in the background. I'm like, oh, let me give them a little attention right now.
They are more than welcome to go on show. I don't know if they're going to answer my questions.
Maybe not. I'll try to answer for him.
Oh, okay. So what was his name again?
This is Woody.
Oh yeah, Woody and Buzz. Woody, what's changed in your normal day-to-day process?
Okay, one thing that's happened is that I get a lot more attention. My two friends, Olivia and Layla, they get to play with me a whole lot more. And I also get more walks, longer walks. So nice. That's been really nice.
That is nice. Okay, so now that everyone's home with you all the time, what do you like about it the most?
What I like the most is that one thing is that I'm not left alone, a few hours a day the way I used to, and I'm kind of a brave dog. You can probably see that I'm pretty tough and I'm pretty brave. But sometimes, those thunderstorms kind of get to me a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But now, it's great that that I'm not alone. I mean, I'm fine. I'm brave and all that, but yeah, but it's good. It's good to have other folks around, just in case they get in trouble.
Right. Okay, so if you're missing one thing right now, what is it?
Before this whole thing started, my friend Will here, who's holding me, he used to give me some high quality food, like really good quality, but he told me recently that place is shut down for a little while.
Oh.
So now I have to settle for this cheap stuff that you get at like Walgreens.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what, the quality of food has gone down in the last few weeks.
Yeah, I understand that myself. Okay, so once your family goes back to living life outside the house, what's that first thing you're gonna do?
Well, I mean, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go visit my friends. I have a girlfriend. I don't know if you know that.
I don't know.
My girlfriend's name is Dolly. She lives right across the street. And I haven't seen Dolly in forever. And I hope she's doing okay. I mean, I hear her sometimes, like, barking, calling for me in the distance. And that's why they probably set up a date with myself and Dolly.
Oh, well, that should be fun. Is there, that's all the questions I really have for you. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to while you're here?
Sure. You know what? He's kind of a pain in the butt, but my brother Buzz, honestly, I kind of am mean to him. I kind of bark at him sometimes, but the guy keeps me warm, keeps me company, especially after those baths. We both kind of just commiserate.
Oh, yeah.
Tell old war stories, how it goes.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, Woody, for coming on the show.
No problem. No problem. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Let me go ahead and talk to your master, if you will, Will.
All right. I'll see you later.
All right. Have a good one, buddy.
All right. See you later.
There we go. We've interviewed Will's dog, Woody. So that happened. Let's get Will back.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having Woody on.
Hey, like I said, anything goes here. That's how we improvise. We just go with the flow.
Well, I kind of thank you for being flexible. I was going to go one direction, but then decided to go another way. And it was fun. I don't think I ever heard my dog talk, and to hear his inner thoughts was great.
Ours talk all the time. It sounds mostly like my wife's voice, but they talk all the time. It'll be all like, "Daddy, you want to take us for a walk?" Stuff like that.
I have a feeling that Woody's going to be talking to Buzz about this experience for weeks. The fact that he got to come into the bedroom is something that...
Do we need to have him show up real quick or no?
He's so... I tried to see if he wanted to come with me when I took Woody back. Buzz is like so afraid of the inner sanctum of this room that he ran away. I think he's so afraid of getting in trouble.
Well, that makes sense. Okay, so we're basically done. Is there anybody that you would like to give a shout out to out there in the world? Anybody?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity. This is just a lot of fun. I think we talked right before this of as a creative types, to have something to look forward to, to have something to prep for,
right.
And just to think about. And this was great. Thank you. Also, just I think only improvisers could roll with it the way we just did.
Right.
Letting me bring my pop out. Of course, I want to promote just the fact that where I work at Forest Studio Theater, and I'm part of the improv team there. I'm the director of the improv team, FST Improv, on most social media handles. And I have a website, will-luera.com, if you want to reach out to me directly.
And he's going to comment that in the section after this video is posted, because I'm not going to put it on the screen.
I'll do it.
All right. Well, that's all I got. I'll be right back with you. Let's close the show out. Hey, that's today's show, everybody. Remember, when you're out and about, those people that are still working, say thank you to them, because their working allows you to get the things that you need. And remember, think about all the doctors and everybody who works in the medical field, and give a shout out to them when you can. And remember, wash your hands, stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.